there, my name is Madison Werner, and I will be covering the topic of if you should vaccinate your dogs with the leptospirosis vaccine. I have had a couple years of experience within small animal medicine, so I would like to go over why you should vaccinate your dogs with the lepto vaccine.
Our furry friends not only teach us loyalty, but they also teach us what it's like to love unconditionally. Because of this, we need to keep them around for as long as possible so they can be just as happy and healthy as they make us. And in order to do so, we have to keep them up to date with their vaccines and annual health checks, just as we have to do for ourselves. A controversial topic in the veterinary medicine world is whether or not to vaccinate your dog with leptospirosis. It isn't required among annual visits to the veterinarian, and it's often overlooked due to the prices because often you find owners that are wanting to spend the least amount of money on treatment while still ensuring that their pet is healthy. What owners aren't being told is that getting the leptospirosis vaccine could save their dog's life and save them thousands of dollars in treatment. It is a contagious disease spread orally through nasal mucus, contaminated water, or broken skin. It is initiated from Leptospira, which is a bacteria. It's a spiral-shaped bacteria, and it is discovered through a MAT test or a polymerase chain reaction test within the blood or the urine. It can be transmitted from animals to humans, therefore it is zoonotic. It is one of the most common diseases spread within the canine species, and the prevalence of this disease is increasing by 1.2 cases per thousand of dogs per year, which is an incredibly large amount. It is found in regions with high moisture, flood percentages, and rainfall, aka Oklahoma. It is transmitted most commonly through contaminated water from rats and livestock, moist soil, and most commonly urine. When a wild or domestic animal drinks from this water, it gets infected with one of the strains of leptospirosis, and then it's able to pass it on from another animal or to a human. Treating this disease can be tricky if it's not caught in enough time or even can be fatal. Symptoms can include a loss of appetite, lethargy, vomiting, and diarrhea, and can cause Lyme disease, kidney failure, and liver failure, which sounds like a pretty tough disease to cure to me. Treatment includes several days in the hospital for your pet, IV fluids, and IV antibiotics, which is very expensive. It can cost up to $1,000, whereas the vaccine can cost anywhere between $15 and $20. It is improving every year. The vaccine is improving every year, covering more and more different species of lepto. It used to only cover 2, and now it covers 4. And people were kind of apprehensive about getting it because of the reactions, but since it's improved, the reaction rate has decreased to 3% of a reaction, and it does provide protection for up to 12 months, so our dog's immune system don't have to fight off the deadly bacteria alone. This topic is extremely controversial because people are concerned about the side effects, which I think is a little funny because most people don't stop taking acetaminophen and ibuprofen and Advil because of possible liver toxicity, because it's only mentioned because there's a slim chance of it possibly happening. Renal failure, autoimmune disease, tumors, abortions, jaundice, hemorrhages are all side effects and reasons that many owners reject this vaccine. And like I said, they're just slim chances that it's a possibility. It is also a claim that after an animal is vaccinated, they shed lepto in their urine for a couple hours after it is vaccinated. And since leptospirosis is prominent in wet and warm climates, there are whereas others are not from those wet and warm climates, they feel like they don't need to get the vaccine. But in reality, the bacteria is also found in big cities due to the large amount of sewage and rats that carry the disease. So regardless of where one lives and the claims and ideas that are formed, vaccinating against this fatal disease to protect man's best friend is something that needs to be educated upon and encouraged to do. This zoonotic disease is a disease that can be transmitted from animal to human, hence the definition. Um, Other examples of zoonotic diseases include rabies, tularemia, and, as stated, leptospirosis. It is transferred through urine, in contaminated water, by exposed flesh, or by consuming that water. And people who travel to tropical areas have a higher risk of exposure. And the side effects for humans are the same as those in a dog and can include liver and kidney failure as well. These symptoms usually take place after the strain of spiral-shaped bacteria enters the host. And most people think that it is transferred directly from dogs to humans, but it is a rarity. It is more commonly transferred from doing recreational activities outdoors and in humid areas with contaminated water. During 2014, the prevalence of leptospirosis in domestic animals increased from 7.6% to 15.3%, consecutively increasing the possibility of human exposure during contact with those animals. So it is a pretty serious disease, because not only can it affect our dogs, it can also affect us, and it is increasing over the years now that people are apprehensive to vaccinate with lepto. It has now been reinstated as nationally notifiable disease due to the fact that in 2014 there were 21 human cases of leptospirosis. So many facts and data have been used to solidify that lepto is a serious disease that can be prevented with a quick trip to the vet office. The joy of getting a new puppy and forever friend is definitely worth the routine care needed to keep it healthy. Puppies are required to have three series of shots before its immune system is ready to take on the biggest park or the fastest squirrel. It is required at 8 weeks to get its distemper parvo vaccine, at 12 weeks to get its second round of distemper parvo, and its optional first round of the Lyme's vaccine. At 16 weeks, the puppy is required to get its third round of distemper parvo, a rabies vaccine, and the optional second round of Lyme's and a bordetella. All of these regulations are put into place to keep our pets safe from entering a world full of bacteria that are just looking to attack their immune systems. The distemper parvo vaccine is a combination vaccine, which can be spun with leptospirosis, so you have an option of getting distemper parvo or distemper parvo and lepto. Therefore, it is an optional vaccine. Claiming another living being as our own, we are vowing to be responsible pet owners, and it is our duty to prevent the spread of this zoonotic disease, not only for our pets, but for ourselves too. Disease control is a very large responsibility and can be followed through by cleaning up after your pets, vaccinating them with the required recommended vaccines, and keeping them clean, especially when coming into contact with other animals or people. I mean, when losing a pet, it is equivalent to the loss of a family member, in my opinion. Pet owner responsibilities are designed to prevent diseases from spreading that can cost a pet or human its life. There are approximately 1.03 million cases and 59,000 human deaths reported globally due to leptospirosis. This statistic is very alarming, knowing that pet owners can make an effort to prevent these numbers from being so high. I personally think that avoiding tropical weather or recreational activities outside is not an easy task, especially if you're somebody who enjoys the outdoors like I do. So why not just take a simple step and vaccinate your dogs? Because that seems like a more simple alternative. Vaccinating your dogs with leptospirosis would save not only just their life, but your life as well, and others along with it.